Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War stream, Campaign 2, Week 6, Day 7. So today is the last day of the 6th week. We got ourselves the last day of the Emperor-NAZ faction. So if you want to get this done, you still got time to go get it maxed or to whatever point you want to get it to. Event still goes for about another 5 or 6 hours or so. But today we're going to go over all of the weekly spoilers and then just kind of go from there. Probably do a little bit of farming. Oh, where's the timer for it? It's actually it should be right over here. Yeah, 6 hours on the dot. Well, pretty much on the dot. But soon TM. But yeah, make sure to finish that up if you haven't already. Pretty sure leaderboard is so ridiculously high. What's the leaderboard like on this right now? Yes, we'd have to like double our score to make leaderboard. Gosh, well, we're not doing that, obviously. Yeah, it goes really high. A lot of people go for 500. As you can see, this is a straight 500. A lot of people go for those new factions. It's one of the bigger pieces of endgame content. You'll notice every person here is like over level 1,200. It's generally not something you do until later in the game. Yeah, I don't think we saw a single person under 1,200. One of them was literally at 1,200. But yeah, it's something you do later in the game. But later in the game is one of the bigger consistent gem sinks that you tend to go for. Is just instantly max out every new faction. But you don't do it till later in the game just because it's a pretty bad use of gems earlier in the game. Is because it's pretty pricey to do. But later in the game, you don't have as many things to throw gems on. But anyways, let's go over the spoilers and just everything that we got going on this week. So let's go bring that up. So, gemsofwall.com, underneath their forum section, they always have their nice little weekly posts. And the main thing that we want to know on it is how to do the event. Because that info actually isn't at other locations. But anyways, it is a Sword's Edge event next week as far as the troop. It does explode gems in a 3x3 cross. Wait, what? That's new. What shape would that be? Do you mean cross like an X or cross like a plus shape? I'm actually confused as to what that will do. And then it gains 17 armor and gains a barrier. So it's basically just a tank with a bit of mana accumulation. I don't know, what shape would a cross be? An X or a plus shape? It has to be one or the other. And it said explodes. That's kind of weird, that shape. I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. So does that mean like a 3x3X? So does that basically mean it'll explode the gem you target, the gem to the top right, the gem to the top left, the gem to the bottom left, and the gem to the bottom right? If it's a plus shape, then it'd be the one that you target, the one above it, the one to the right, the one bottom, and one to the left. It'll explode. Okay, we'll have to see. We'll need to mess with that troop when it comes out tomorrow. But regardless, it is a useless troop that you're never going to use. And the board control on it's going to be pretty insane, given how weird of a shape that is, regardless of which one of the two it is. Just a really weird shape to try to land. But that is quite a bit of mana exploded. It's a pretty large area, actually, that explodes. It's not like a full board explode, but for 13 mana cost, it's not too bad of an area. But it seems like it's going to be useless. Anyways, that thing's coming out. It's going to be ultra rare. So pretty cheap at 300. That makes it a little bit less effective to farm arcanes on if you want them. But anyways, the more important info here. There are 5 battles that players can encounter during the event. Haunted Guardian, Spectral Knight, Graveseer, Lady Marana, and Death. The first 3 battles to appear are randomly chosen, but they will have an equal chance of appearing on the map. Defeating 3 battles will then cause a battle against Lady Marana to appear. Defeating 1 battle will then cause a battle against Death to appear. Wait, defeating 1 battle? That's weird. And then defeat 1 battle, and all battles will reset. Oh, okay, it was just saying the current chain. And you'll need to fight another 3 battles to spawn Lady Marana again, and then it repeats the cycle. For scoring, you can find the following rewards for each of the different battles you may encounter. We got, for the Haunted Guardian, 4 Armaments. And Spectral Knight also at 4, so those are the 2 you want to avoid. Graveseer and Lady Marana are at 8. And Death is at 10, so basically you want to focus on Death and then Graveseer, Lady Marana. Let's see, each one of these things are worth 10 points, it's not too relevant though. And each battle against Haunted Guardian, Spectral Knight, Graveseer gets harder. They will increase the amount of armaments by 25%. As the battles against Lady Marana and Death get harder, they will increase the amount by 50%. So basically, you just want to take the highest ones then. So Def is still highest priority. Lady Marana is second highest priority. Graveseer is third highest priority. And Spectral Knight and Haunted Guardian you basically want to avoid. That's pretty much the premise here, it looks like. Should be pretty straightforward. Sounds good. Okay. Next on our list. All the event stuff we got this week. So I know we have a Bounty Hunter this Friday. I forget what else we have. But most of it can actually be seen in-game, oddly enough. Like the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday stuff. But let's go check it anyways. So, this Tuesday, because sometimes there's like a pet thrown in on like a Saturday or some kind of other weird thing that's kind of thrown in there. But anyways, we do have Guild Wars going on this week, so that's pretty worth mentioning. We do have a Guild Wars going on. That'll be, of course, you set all your teams on Monday, and then going into Tuesday, you will actually start the Guild Wars. If I'm not mistaken, you need to do all your recruiting by tonight in order to have that for the Guild Wars. So if you are a guild, you want to make sure you get that done for the Guild Wars coming up. But we have that. We're also going to have our normal War Lore event, which you just went over. Aside from that, we're going to have a faction event of Dark Pits on Tuesday. For Wednesday, we're going to be having the Griffling Pet, which I believe is yellow team bonus, if I'm not mistaken. It should be yellow team bonus. Let me double check. Pretty sure it's yellow team bonus. Yes, yellow team bonus. Then for Thursday, we're going to have the class event for, of course, the Knight Hero class, which is one of the worst in the entire game. Friday, as I mentioned, we're going to be having Bounty Hunter. However, it is not a Sword's Edge Bounty Hunter, oddly enough, so you won't be able to get an extra stat from Sword's Edge. It's actually going to be a Drock Zoom Bounty Hunter, which I believe is the first time where it doesn't actually align up with the event, and we'll go over that troop in a little bit as well. Does this actually bring it directly to it? I'm not sure if it does. It brings it to a different screen. We can still see what its ability does, though. But anyways, it destroys a column and then creates Tomb Doom Skulls for every green gem destroyed, and then conjures a Bone Storm. It's basically a Skull Spammer option. It seems like it might actually be okay. Purple-brown, 11 mana cost. It's not too bad. And there's a lot of immunities on it, too. And, of course, it has the normal Bounty Hunter bonus, as every Bounty troop does. But anyways, I got that Bounty this Friday, and I believe that was the last thing, because I don't think we have anything else going on this weekend. Nope, we don't have any other pet. So that's pretty much it. So we mostly just have the bounty on Friday and normal stuff going on throughout the week. However, there is a chance we might get something special for the 6-year anniversary of the game. That wouldn't be posted anywhere here. However, the 6-year anniversary for the game is technically, based on one of the dates that they normally say it is the 20th, which is this Friday. So are they going to do anything for it this Friday? Who knows? If they do, we'll probably just have something over in the adventure board. Possibly. I'm not sure if they're actually going to do anything for it. Obviously, we already got the pet earlier last week, the 2020 pet last Wednesday. But we're not sure if they're actually going to do anything for the 20th, which is technically the actual day that they generally consider to be the anniversary of the game. So we'll have to wait and see. That isn't really in any spoilers or anything. Let's see. Any news about which mythic troops will be available on SoulForge next week? No, we never know that ahead of time. We don't know that until Monday. That's why we always go over it on the weekly video, because it is not known what they are until the day of, because it doesn't get rolled until the day of. It's completely random based on which ones haven't already occurred. So until it actually changes events, we will not know what actually comes in on Monday, which is why we go over it in the other video, because it is impossible to go over today, unfortunately. Also, I just realized we're only 2 gems short of 22,000. But anyways, let me go say hello to everyone. I didn't even say hellos. And then we'll get into stuff. Hello, Humberto. Hello, Steve. Hello, Ella. Hello, Bill. Hello, Diaz. Hello, wait, we have 2 Ellas? Hello, double Ellas. Hello, Friginator. Hello, Birdleaf. Hello, Imperial. Hello, Scout. Hello, Mobarashi. Let's see. Hello, TJ. I mean, TG. And, hello, everyone else. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so, let's just clear out our dailies real quick. We already have our medals set to do so, so we might as well. We don't really have anything too good over here. A little bit of glory, a little bit of gems. They add up, but nothing too shiny here. Not like we have some Imperial deeds or anything of really good value, but it adds up. Hello, Cookie! We'll go clear all these out. And of course, it is Sunday, so we do get the extra diamonds for Diamond Day. It is always worth throwing 50 gems on that, even if you're earlier on in the game, as long as you have dungeons unlocked. It is always worth throwing the 50 gems on the Sunday or Diamond Pack, mostly because the diamonds alone are worth more than the gems that you spend on it, plus you get 2 gem keys, plus you get a Celestial, and a few other loots, so it ends up working out really well. So hello, Kelly. Welcome. If anyone has any questions or anything you want me to go over, let me know. We finished out every single event for this week, so we're most likely just going to be doing some explore grinding. Been getting a decent amount in lately. We got an issue about 5 days ago or so. I definitely got one this week. I think we got like 5 anners or so this week. They add up. Gotta make progress. It's slow progress, but progress nonetheless. There we go. Full mana, dead. A Tesla. That can actually do absurd damage to us, so it's not actually going to get a cast on us. But if it did, it would probably two-shot our team. Due to how it boost ratios. Tesla's really good for boost ratioing throughout the game. Even that super weak Tesla can still do absurd damage. Because your stats don't really determine how much damage she's going to do for the most part. Mostly depends on the stats of the enemy. Because she doesn't actually gain any magic or anything. She's one of the only few troops in the entire game where her damage offer for ability actually has no influence based on her magic. It's a little bit weird that she gets no damage on it, but she's one of the few that does. Where the damage is entirely based on some kind of other factor. Dragon Soul is kind of that way. Where its dragon is like, its damage is like a base 8 that is boosted based on how many dragons are near our team, which is technically a base 11 because it itself is a dragon. So obviously it gets boost ratio off of itself. And then we can go into Arena. But yeah, don't forget, Guild Wars is right around the corner. If you haven't registered, make sure to do so. Pretty sure most guilds do that automatically. If you want to get into next Guild Wars, you still have another 6 hours to register. I advise going into every single one of them. Even if your guild literally has no intention to actually play it, you still get loot for literally just sitting there doing nothing. So definitely sign up. Because even just signing up, even if your guild has no intention to do it, you still get loot for it. So might as well. Might as well. Also, there's 6 troops you can only get from it as well. They're pretty useless troops, however, you do need them eventually for kingdom upgrades and such, so might as well get them. I have no clue which one next week will be, though. We don't know till the day of, I don't believe. Either Monday or Tuesday we'll know. I think on Monday we know. Have I ever played Final Fantasy? No, I haven't actually played any of the Final Fantasy games yet. I do intend to eventually get around to them. But as it currently stands, I've never played any of the Final Fantasy games. Not yet. And here's the 50 gem pack I was talking about. It is always worth going for regardless of what point in the game you're in. It's just absurdly good loot for only 50 gems. However, you can only do it once every Sunday. But it's worth doing it every Sunday. And that is never worth it. None of these are ever worth it. Also, which one do I keep getting this for? Leonis Empire? I need to go, like, do all the requirements for Leonis Empire. It keeps giving me this very useless middle task. Let's see, it wants me to do the challenges, and it wants me to upgrade Leonis Empire to level 13. Gosh. We'd have to waste deeds to do that, though. If we want to do it to 13, we gotta waste deeds. The other one we could do, though. I don't know, maybe we go do that now just to get it out of the way. Let's see, how many of the deed that it wants do we have? We have an okay amount. It only takes 12. I guess we'll do it, why not? So we'll do that. And, yeah, let's do this next objective, I guess. It wants us to go do the challenges to tier 6 or 7? What exactly did it want? Complete 7 tier 6 challenges. So we're currently at tier 6. Oh, perfect. All we have to do is do these next battles. Perfect. Let's do it with a Zugoff team, I believe. Wait, does this have enough damage? I don't think it does. Let's go check. Does this have enough damage? I don't think it will. But if this does, we could very easily quickly clear through this. I think we're slightly short for how much damage she'll do. Or it depends on how many reds are currently on the board. As I take reds instead of a different color. Oh no, it actually does one shot. Okay. Should be able to get away with this then. Let's clear through these battles, and then it should stop giving us the offer every single day, that useless one. Where it's like a small amount of gold and an event key for 25. If it was 3 gem keys with that gold, I would consider going for it. But I don't really need event keys. Oh, we got a gnome there too. Not really with anything good though. Better replacement for the early Emperina Delve team. You can run, wait, which one are you referring to? You only had one Tina and ran Ragnargord for the other thing. As long as you have two true damaging sources, it should be fine. So if you have one Tina and one Weaver, that should be fine. Because that's the main premise of the game, of the team. You use Tina, Weaver cleans, you get mana from it, you recast, you win. That is the premise. And of course, for the Gargoyle team, the main replacement is Mountain Crusher double Gargoyle into Gimlet, or Slicer into triple Gargoyle. Which I've heard some people actually went to like 150 or 200 with it. Oh, where are my mods? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Isabel's not here, and all of our other mods appear to not be here at the moment either. It's not too big a deal, though. Normally we have enough mods that we always have a mod around. But not today. Everyone's busy this Sunday night. Actually, isn't football on tonight? Maybe they're watching football. Who knows? Let's see. What was I doing? I was checking to see if this was met. Okay, good. We met our requirements. So now that we did that, we should hopefully stop seeing the event key thing. So now that we did that, hopefully our middle task will not be this useless thing. Because now there's nothing left we can level up in this kingdom. Because this is a 100% useless one. There's such a small tweak they could make to actually make that useful though, but yeah, it's definitely bad. It's such a small one too. It's just a waste of a spot. So now we shouldn't see that ever again, hopefully. Unless it finds a different kingdom to go do it for, but I believe I have every kingdom upgraded as far as we can go. Whenever we don't, it keeps giving us a weird offer for it. But yeah, that should be all of them. Because we also got KZL the 18 star. We were blocked on pet earlier, but we were able to get it once we got the maxed out pet from the delve last night. Anyways, so I think that's everything we need to get done specifically, so we can just go on grinding now. So let's go switch over to our main build. Let's double check though that we did do the event. There's only 2 events, of course. There was this one, and of course the faction one, which we definitely already completed. However, did we claim the loot from it? Probably. Just making sure. Yep, we already claimed the loot from them. Though you do automatically claim it, even if you do forget to claim it for whatever reason. It automatically gives it to you at the end of the event. So if you do forget, it still gives you the loot. Let's see. Hello, Bushka. Welcome. About the true Pure faction. No sigil left. Let's hope it works. How hard it was for you? It was not hard. It just took forever. It took forever and a half. I would suggest going with double of the stunner. That one yellow-blue combined with double the legend. That worked pretty well for us. Expect it to take around 20 to 30 minutes, though. If you see a death mark room, take it. You're probably going to want it. I got blocked by a death mark immunity, so I couldn't take the death mark room, oddly enough. But, oops, this is definitely the wrong team. I meant to switch my team. Definitely meant to switch to you. Okay, let's get this done. So hello, Andre. Welcome. But, yeah, Pure Faction wasn't hard. It just took forever. It's really hard to kill the legend. But I had no... Like, we weren't even remotely close to dying at any time. You just have to stack magic until you win. Is basically the premise of the final battle. See ya. I'll catch you later. Yeah, double stunner, double legendary is what I ran for it. And for the final battle, you basically have to stack up like crazy. You're probably going to have to take around 50 to 100 extra turns. And then once you do, you can chip through. You want to make sure you get as many extra turns as possible, and you want the enemy getting as few extra turns as possible. It's a very long battle. But at no point were we even remotely close to dying on any of them. I only lost one trip the entire time, and it was because we deliberately tried losing it. Because I wanted to test to see if the single target guy was better. But I just left it as double. We ended up going back to double after using the single target guy for a little bit. Mostly because the double target guy basically does double his value. Since you're gaining magic, you're hitting 2 things for the price of 1. So even though you can't target the last slot, it's still pretty beneficial due to how quickly it gains HP. It was a pretty easy win though. Just time consuming. It's gonna take at least like 20 minutes, if not longer. Depending on stats, it could literally take like 30-40 minutes. If you don't have Death Mark or some kind of other mechanic that you picked up in one of the earlier rooms. Which is what I tried doing, but we weren't able to get it due to the layout. Also, it might not even appear in your delve. But double check what the treasure room is in bottom right, because it might have an effect that makes the final battle easier. Though make sure that the room prior to it doesn't have one that would make it too annoying if you do go down the bottom path. I think I ended up going down the top path. Even though it's one extra room, it's they were all weak effects, so I just took that route. I would not advise using the scatter damage option. He gains damage way too slow. It also doesn't gain as much of a benefit from having magic, because the guy that hits 2 enemies gains double the value from its magic, whereas the other 2 gain just 1 times its value, since they both only technically hit 1 target. Even though scatter damage hits all of them, it's only effectively getting 1 additional damage per magic, whereas the one that hits 2 enemies effectively gains 2 additional damage per magic. So it's gaining damage at double the rate, essentially. Yeah, that's the problem with the faction. Its healer and support troop was way stronger than the damage sources, and this caused the delve to take forever. Because the support troop was so good relative to the damage. They really need to make them a little bit more balanced. Otherwise the delve will always take forever and a half to complete. That's probably the biggest discrepancy, though, ever within a delve. Like, just how much better the support troop was relative to the damages. This is why it took so long. Because the legend's actually somewhat useful outside of the event. I haven't messed with it yet. Just because it seems like it's going to take too long to ramp up, but it definitely has potential. 2 magic life to all allies per extra turn. This ability's kind of average, though. Unless the troop specifically uses life to boost ratio. I hate that a secondary effect is an additional summon. I wish I had a different secondary effect. Oh, an Anu and a double Arania. Gosh, that's a good loot right there. We even got a full medal of Anu from it. And an Arania badge upgrade. Very nice. Oh, so far, so good as far as loot chests are concerned. Gosh. That's some really good, juicy loot. Hopefully we'll get a Nisha tonight. Though not too big a deal if we do. As long as we're getting decent stuff. And that's a pretty good start. Every chest had that in that. Definitely couldn't complain. Really decent loot. The biggest issue with using the scatter damage guy, more so than anything, is he distributes the damage relatively evenly across all the enemies. And this is pretty bad due to how the healer heals. Because the healer heals everything simultaneously. So it's better to double up front, since you'll actually get kills. And the resummons that it does have much lower stats compared to its heal, depending on how far you end up going. So it ends up working out a bit better if you concentrate them down. Because if you're using scatter damage the whole time, you're almost never going to get a kill. Whereas when you're using the double up front damage, that combined with skulls will secure kills. And eventually it gets less and less troops. And eventually your double hits can hit the final slot. And then once it does, you start doing some really massive damage to it until it dies. But if you're doing scatter, the entire time you have to deal with the fact that it's healing all of them simultaneously. I think mine ended up getting like, the enemy one ended up getting like a 200 something heal by the end of the battle. I think it was almost like 250 or something. So if you were doing scatter damage to that, even if you had 1,000 scatter damage, one heal would completely reverse it. Whereas if you were concentrating the damage on 2 troops, it wouldn't be as bad. Because you'd be hitting both of them for that value. It also has stun, so you don't need to worry about like that 30% reduction that one guy has. I think that was the only annoying trait, I think. Though one of them I think did have spell reduction too, but it basically gets rid of any of those annoying traits. Also, if you end up getting on the legend, it disables its extra magic life gain for the duration of it. Also, one other strategy for the delve is to try to get one of your troops prior to the battle transformed into a toadstool or into a toad, a giant toad, either of those 2 troops from the battles that exist that have transform. If you do this, you'll have a better chance on the final battle. If you have toad, you can drag the legends to first slot, which will make things very easy because you just kill with skulls at that point. And the other alternative is Toadstool. You can transform them, ideally the legend first, into a Toadstool. And then from there, you pretty much just win, as long as they don't Toadstool your entire team. But you basically just Toadstool the legend, kill out everything, and then be good to go. I feel like the Toad method would work a little bit better. But the Toadstool method would work too. Also, picking up a Death Mark prior to the final battle would also work. That's what I tried doing, but I was blocked by a room that had immune to Death Mark, which was very unfortunate. We had Death Mark in our delve, but the room right before it was immune to Death Mark. As far as I'm getting that perk, so it literally would have done nothing if we went for Death Mark. Since they would have just gained immune anyways. I still can't believe that happened. Very unlucky. Because with Death Mark, it'd be super easy. You just need to get lucky and then they die. It'd still take a while, but it would take a lot less time than how long it took us. Well, when you do it at 500, I think the summons are around 200 something. I forget what their exact magic value was, but it's way lower than what they... It was way lower than 500. If I didn't see what the exact level was. It's based on whatever their magic is. So, it actually keeps going higher over time, the level of their summon. So it depends how many extra turns they're getting. Because the level of a summon is determined by... It's capped at level 20 for... basically, whenever you summon as a player, it's based on whatever the max ascension of the troop that you currently have it at is, capped at 20. So for example, if you have something upgraded to Mythic, like a Thrall, and we summon a Thrall, it'll come in at a level 20, even though it's a common. However, if our Thrall was only at Rare... because we upgraded the common to rare, it would only come in at a level 16. However, the way that it works for AI, whenever you're up against a team like in Delves or some kind of similar game mode, is their level is based just solely on what their magic is. So if they have 150 magic, it'll summon in at level 150. But if they keep gaining 2 magic every single extra turn, and they already have like 400 magic, it'll summon in at a level 400. Meaning that theoretically, I think they could actually summon over level 500. If the game went on for so long and you gave them so much magic, they could theoretically summon stronger than what they started with. which would be really unfortunate. You got to be careful with that, because every extra turn that you give the enemy, they gain 2 whole additional levels on each summon, which of course makes them increasingly harder to kill. It doesn't cap at the level of the summoner. I am not 100% certain on that. This, I believe, is the first delve where they ever could have technically gone above 500. Ours never got that far, so we never got to find out. I believe the answer is yes, though. I'm pretty sure they can go higher than the summoner. I don't believe it hard caps at 500. Though we didn't test it. And it would take way too long to test it. We'd have to give the AI, like, 300 extra turns or something. Or not 300, but we'd have to give them, like, 150 extra turns. That'd take way too long to test. I could just won with a skull. Whoops. So we gotta go the mana route. Oh, I could have taken skull there. Of course, as soon as we get full mana, it's like, oh, here's a free skull. But yeah, all summons when you're up against an AI team that isn't a player owned at all comes in based on their magic. And I don't believe there's any hard cap on it. So they should probably be able to summon higher than their own level. It would take forever in that specific delve instance, but it should be possible. It's one of the reasons why the delve takes so long. Oh no, you're 250 short from the blue weapon. Luckily, it's not one of the best ones. That's still unfortunate. If you happen to get one blue pet between now and the end of the event, you could spend gems until you have enough blue. Because every single time you get a pet basket, it has a chance of being those blue shard things. That might cost you too many gems, though, to try to get it. Also, you'd still need a blue pet to appear between now and the end of the event. It'd probably be too pricey, though. Because not only do you have to find a blue pet, but you have to throw like 1,000 gems or something. So probably just worth waiting. Oh, unless you have any shards left. You can convert your shards into blue tokens. Or to... Oh, not blue token, you know what I mean. Blue jewels. If you happen to have any left, if you didn't convert them already. I believe it's every 500 becomes 10 or something. I never do them into colors. I always do them into diamonds. However, you can do them into colors. Yeah, every 500 is 10. So we could craft 17,430 if we wanted to. Gosh, we have so many of all of them. Oh, so how did our brown pass our purple? Why on earth is our purple so low? Wait, really? Why is our purple so low? That's like drastically lower than every other color. The brown one should be our lowest. Whatever happened to purple? Does anyone know the reason why purple's so low? What happened recently? Or in general in Soulforge, where purple would have went very low. Are just most of the weapons coming in purple related? What on earth lowered our purple so much? I know why our brown is lower. But our purple shouldn't be. That's weird. Magic deeds? Oh! Yeah, you're right. That's why. Ah, yes. I forgot. Yep, that's exactly why. I forgot about that. Magic deeds. Magic deeds require 100 each. If we keep doing them, yep, that takes away thousands. Ah, okay. Yep, you're right. That's why. We crafted magic deeds. Imperials just take diamonds. That's good. We'll make you soon. I wish you cost less writs. I wish this cost 500 writs instead of 1,000. Because that'd be 8 deeds. Imperials. But yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. The deeds, the color deeds require jewels, color jewels. Yeah, I believe tier 4 can go all the way. If you're just looking for the rewards. You would get the weapon and you would get all rewards, which is pretty good value. However, you'd have to make sure you don't... you'd have to do every room and not miss a single Valraven to be able to do it with tier 4. But yes, I believe it is possible to complete out the event with tier 4. If you do it flawlessly and do every room. Which is pretty good value. You get the weapon... You get 4 orbs, you get 2 vault keys, and all the other loot along the way. Also, instead of wasting one of your sigils on pure faction, you can do the pure faction on the delve itself without the potion effects. You won't have the few potion effects, but you'll still have all the other delve bonuses. Which you do at either 100 or 200. But you don't want to waste a sigil for it. You could just use one of your daily deeds in the underworld. Or whatever they're called. You know what I mean? Those little scroll things that you get 3 per day. I don't normally run it as a daily. However, it is a pretty good daily to run. The only reason we don't run it as a daily is because, for one, it's actually somewhat time-consuming. It's one of the more time-consuming dailies. But the main reason is we have so many shards already that we don't really need more. Since we're so late into the game. It's one of the nice things about maxing every single faction as well. Is that alone almost keeps your shards like ridiculously high. Since you're spending so many gems towards getting more shards. Let's see, question for you. Do you, did I find the Epic Vault Key yet? No, I still haven't. Next Vault event's on the 27th, so hopefully that weekend we'll find it. This weekend's Bounty Hunter. This weekend's also Age of Calamity! I'll be up Thursday night. The second it comes out, we'll be streaming that like crazy. Let's see, we'll throw that down. Yeah, I would normally advise as you're progressing through the game to run daily delves. Even if you're just running at level 20 to farm the delve. But also because you can passively get them all to 500 over time. At 3 per day, you can get a delve max in under a month. Actually, isn't it like 2 weeks? Let's see, how many battles do you need? What's 48 divided by 3? Doesn't that go in evenly? That's like, 16. So 16 days. It takes 16 days to get a kingdom to, yeah, so you can almost do 2 per month, almost. It takes 16 days to get a, assuming you fail none of them. It takes 16 days to get a kingdom from 20 to 500. I'm not counting pure faction, of course. But that still gives you 2,000 of the points. If you have a level 100 horde, and you get it all the way to that point, and then do 500 deathless, you gain 2,000 of the 2,500 points, which is a good majority of them. And that can be done in half a month, doing 3 per day. Ah, another Anu, nice. But of course I already have the max, so we don't need to do that. Any other alternative, if you don't want to deal with that, is just camp a level 20 at 2 times multiplier, and just keep getting loot from that over and over and over again. Also, we almost gained level 1,600 this week, and I'm actually surprised we didn't hit it. We're definitely going to hit it sometime throughout the week. We're pretty close. Soon, TM. They're only one level away. Almost halfway through the level. Tried for a Sky Skull. Didn't get it to land. So let's explode everything. And it should be match. Luckily, exactly 13 red, so we just go straight into the poke. Let's see if we throw it down. Get our thingy down. Grab our skull, and then one more poke will kill him out. Another rain. Yeah, we're doing pretty good on tokens today. Haven't really had a chest with anything too bad. Though we did get that double Orpheus for one of them, but other than that, pretty good chests. Ideally, you want to see 3 tokens every time, even though there's slightly lower rarity ones. Just because while we still need to upgrade all the lower rarity stuff, it's actually not that bad. Unless there's super high rarity tokens, it's actually better to always just get 3 red than 2. Unless it's 2 high rarity tokens. By high rarity, I mean epic or higher. Which we did get one of those this stream. 1 Anu with 2 Rainias. But that was still a triple. Let's see, we'll throw that down. Get the other explosion. Get our poke, and hopefully this will chain into wiping his entire team. Exactly so. Is there a way to know or manipulate what you would get from the Delve's chest? No. It's literally impossible. It doesn't even matter what order you do the rooms in that regard. It does for other loot. However, the loot for the chest, it doesn't actually matter what order you do, because all the multipliers just get multiplied together. So it has no effect on what the end chest is. It's just completely random. There is no order or anything that you can do to manipulate what the final loot will be for a delve. Hello, Daisy. Welcome. Yeah, it's uninfluenceable, unfortunately. The only thing that influences it is that little bit of drop that you get every single room for extra multiplier. But if you do every single room, then well, you just got the max influence over it. That's all you can do. And there's no way to change like what you get from it or anything. It's just completely random. Hello, Gamer HD. Welcome. It's be very random. Can we get a skull out of that? Yes, because we just moved that over. Perfect. Oh yeah, that was your other account. Well, welcome. His team works really good for Explore 12. Golvania is still the only kingdom in the game that has no immune to burn. So it works really well here because we're trying to do triple damage to burning enemies. And obviously if none of them have immune to burn, we can kill them very quickly. Hopefully Golvania doesn't get immune to burn anytime soon, because this is a pretty quick way to farm. It's even quicker with that 10% that they added a couple patches ago. When you get a kingdom to level 16, that kingdom now has a 10% bonus. Aw, well, we got 3 tokens. All super low rarity stuff, though. But they still helping us upgrading everything. Every token helps. Even the lowest of low rarities. Also, whenever I see the guard token on sale, I feel like I should get it, actually. Guard for only 90 or 80 diamonds, I mean, for 80 or 90 gems is actually pretty reasonable. Even at 100, it's not too bad. And the main reason for that is the weights at which the, you actually get the tokens is ultra rare drops the highest. And, common and rare are below it. And oddly enough, I believe common is actually the rarest one of the 3 lowest rarity ones, which just doesn't make much sense, but I believe it is, if I'm not mistaken. It's either the rare or the common. That's pretty funny. Like, between the 3 of them. I should be able to get the kill there. Oh no, we lost our mana or our damage, or yeah, mana accumulator. I'll move that over. That should be win. We could take an extra turn purple, but oh well. Didn't see it in time. Actually, could just take an any skull there. That's a bit overkill. Take the purple over there. Get her destroy. Get her pokety poke. We'll take that, why not? 2 skulls will do it, 1 skull will do it, and we have no skull. So explode everything and hope it lands. Nope, so we'll destroy everything and hope it lands. Not quite, and we'll just kill it with Zugov. How does transform work in enemy teams? Is it also by their magic? What do you mean? When they transform you, or when you transform them? The way that transform works when you do it to an enemy is it lowers their level by half. So let's say they're a level 400, and you transform an enemy troop. It becomes a 200 of whatever you transform them into. So it basically halves their level, and then transforms it into whatever you transformed it into. When the enemy does it to you, in a sense of delves, it actually counts as them getting a kill. So it ruins Deathless if you're going for Deathless. But the level that it comes in at, I believe, is still based on half. So if they transform your level 20, which generally most of your troops will be level 20, it'll come in at a level 10 of whatever they transformed it into. Oh, why'd I do that? We already had a skull. Whoops. There we go. Anything good in the chests? No, I got an Arania. Oh, metal out of it too. Nice. Yeah, not too bad then. Of course, getting 1 is still the same effect, but we get a shiny little animation of it actually being usable. Because obviously they aren't usable until you have 9 of them. You need 9 tokens to make them usable. Because they have to be a metal. You can't form them into stuff when they're a badge, and tokens do literally nothing until they're transformed into something. So you need 9 tokens. And 3 badges. Or, 9 tokens become 3 badges, which becomes 1 metal. Yeah, I believe that's consistent currently. They did end up changing a little while back. But yes, I do believe in the current state of the game that whenever you transform something, it has a level. That didn't always used to be the case. It's been the case for about 2 years now, though, I believe. They made some tweaks to it in the past, mostly because of Dragon's Eye. Dragon's Eye made them have to, completely rebalance the transforming mechanic. Instead of just rebalancing Dragon's Eye, they rebalanced the entire transform mechanic. Because technically it wasn't just an issue with Dragon's Eye, but it was mostly an issue with Dragon's Eye. It kind of reminds me of when they added, immune to mana burn just because Queen Mab was so broken at the time. And now she's useless. No, yours will still be traded. The reason why the enemy's untraded is because on the battle that you do it on, they don't have data for the traits. So it has no traits. Because each individual battle isn't set to have data for it. However, whenever you get transformed, it's based on what traits you own. So if they transform you into a giant toad, but you don't have any traits on your giant toad, it comes in with no traits. But if they transform you into a giant toad, and you all 3 traits on your giant toad, it will come in with all 3. Or if you have 2 of them, it will come in with 2. But no, your traits when you get transformed are always based on what you own. But for the enemy, it'll normally come in with no traits. There are a few game modes where it is an exception. But in most game modes, it's not coded to have data for every troop. So it comes in with no traits. Whereas you do have data due to, you know, owning the troop and such. Assuming you own it. Which is why generally Legends and Mythics, if you get to summon off of them, might not have their traits, because you might not have their traits. But if you had their traits, they would come in with their traits. If I'm not mistaken, one exception to that is Explore. Oddly enough, I believe Explore has data for all troops to have traits. So if you try transforming something into something, it'll actually come in with all traits. The main reason for this is it used to be coded to have almost every troop in the game in Explore. It doesn't anymore, however the coding for it is still kind of in place for that. So whenever you transform something, I'm pretty sure it still comes in with all traits. Unless they changed that recently. But it used to have the data already, so I think they just kept the data there. They didn't bother changing it. Because before you used to be able to see almost everything in Explorer, in any Explorer. I could probably show that real quick with Dragon's Eye. And get mana on it real quick. Let me just go change my weapon out. But I believe Explorer is the one exception. And if you do it in PvP and Guild Wars, of course, because those locations are players. So it does it based on their data. So if we were to go and make them into a baby dragon and they have their baby dragon max, they would come in with the traits. Let me show it real quick with Dragon's Eye. But yeah, it should come in with traits. If we did this in Delves, it would come in with no traits. But if we do it in Explorer, I believe it does. It's the only, I believe it's the only instance in the game where if you fight the AI, it comes in with traits. Oh, no, it doesn't. Alright, maybe they removed it from here. But if you do it on the player, it definitely will. I can show that real quick in PvP. Assuming they have it upgraded, which they should. Oh, maybe they removed the data. Wait, let's see what happens if we do it in Dragon's Claw. Because Dragon's Claw faction would definitely have the data for it still. It doesn't really matter what we do it on, but let's do it on 12, I guess. Let's see if it comes in traitless. If we do it on a player, it should come in with traits, assuming they have it. Because this Delve should have the data for, or Kingdom. Let's see if it does it now. Oh no, it still came in with none. Interesting. Did they change the mechanic recently? Let's see what it does on a player. It should definitely come in with traits on a player. We'll try it on like 2 or 3 different players. Because some people might not have Baby Dragon upgraded. Though most people probably do. Or just high of a level. Just find a high level. They should probably have their Baby Dragon upgraded. Yeah, it's level 1428. They should have their Baby Dragon upgraded. Ah, that's weird. It is always coming in with no traits. Interesting. That didn't used to be the case. Interesting. Yeah, it is coming in with, and of course now it comes in with traits because it's, still transforming into something. Maybe they changed how offensive transforming works. They did make tweaks to it a little while back. Transform used to count as a kill when you do it against a player, and now it doesn't. It still counts for def and delves, but doesn't count as a kill anymore against players. Maybe they tweaked it then and I just never realized it because I've rarely ever used transform. But yeah, they did all come with no traits. Interesting. That didn't used to be the case. They might have shadow tweaked it at some point. Like, Transform has gotten reworked a couple times in the past. But yeah, when the Baby Dragon casts, it comes with your traits, of course, because then it checks the traits that you have set. So when you do it with a player, obviously it comes in with whatever traits the player has. If they get a mythic that they don't have, then obviously it'll come in with no traits. But if it's something like a legend and they have like 2 traits on it, it'll come in with 2 traits or however many they have. Because offensive transform is different from you transforming on your own team. They're 2 different mechanics. Even though they're both called the same thing. But the interaction of transforming an enemy and transforming an ally are different. Oh, a good chest. At least we got 3. Not the greatest though. Whenever you see the 3 lowest rarity, it's like, could have been better. And if you see the 2 lowest rarity, it definitely could have been better. Or, you know, when you only see 2 of the lowest 3, I mean. Because ideally, basically every chest we ever get, we want to see at least something that isn't the lowest 3 rarities. Basically anything that doesn't have one of the lowest 3 rarities is a decent chest, in my eyes. Especially if it drops you 3 instead of 2. Oh, hello, Korak. Welcome. If anyone has any other questions, let me know. Probably go for one more chest and probably call it a night. And then tomorrow night, I'll go over all the Chapter 7 tasks. And we'll also be going over the video, going over all the event week stuff. I'll try to get it up a bit earlier this time if I can. Probably try staying up and recording it. I got a lot of rest today, so I should be able to stay up that long. Also, with the hour change, it's now a 2 a.m. reset instead of 3. So a little bit earlier in the day makes it a bit easier. Or earlier in the night. So I don't have to stay up as long to record it. Since I can't record it until the reset happens, obviously. And even then, I still have to set stuff up. Hello, Isabel. Welcome. Is there another gem game you think is good? I don't know. I haven't really explored many of them. The Puzzle Quest games were pretty good, but they're made by the same developers. Like, I really enjoyed Puzzle Quest 1. They made an HD remake of it last year. It's a Switch exclusive, the HD remake. But the normal version's available on Steam and a few other locations of the original Puzzle Quest game. I believe it's called Puzzle Quest Challenge of the Warlords, aka Puzzle Quest 1. But yeah, the HD remake that they made last year is unfortunately a Switch exclusive right now. I'm not sure if it's coming to other consoles soon. I feel like they were waiting till next gen to bring it over to other consoles, but they obviously still haven't. They might have a 2-year exclusivity or something, because it's already been a year. That's still just too early to put it over to the other consoles. It's because they haven't really been out long yet. Actually, did both the consoles already launch? I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to them too much. Did both Xbox Series X or whatever it's called and PS5 launch already? Though even if they did, I'm pretty sure it's still hard to get your hands on one. I'm not planning on getting either of them though. So I might get a PS5 controller. Not to use for a PS5, but to use it for a PC controller. I've been meaning to get another controller lately, and I figured, why not? It's the same price as most of the other controllers, so. So we'll take that over, and he said. Alright, we'll make this our final chest. Hopefully something good. There's that new ghost we got for Halloween. One of the newer troops in the game. It's actually not that bad either, 50% undead start. The troop itself is pretty average, but the things you can use it with for synergy is actually somewhat okay. It's not the best thing in the game. Like, definitely not the strongest 50% start, but it's not a horrible one. A lot of true damage in undeads. Yeah, what's in our final chest? Anything shiny? Ah, an Arania. Nice. Okay. Good to see. So we did pretty good. Got an Anu, got like 5 Aranias. Not bad. And 16 gems. We actually got a, it was before the stream started, But a few minutes before the stream started, I should have kept it up on screen. We got a 25 gem tribute. It was one of the highest we've gotten so far. We got a 25. I think 28's the highest I ever gotten. The highest you can ever get is a 34. However, the chance of it happening is exceedingly rare. It's a very small decimal. But yeah, I believe the highest I ever got was a 28, and we got a 25 before the stream started. Let's see. Exchange rates and taxes make the PS5 5,000 on my currency. Oh, gosh. Though I'm not sure how much that would be in your currency. But that still sounds high. Yeah, depending on what part of the world you're in, due to all that, it could definitely fluctuate the price quite a bit. I think it's 500? Is it 400 or 500 in America? I'm not even sure. The controller, I think, is 70. So I'm probably going to pick up the controller. I highly doubt it's going to go on sale for Black Friday, but who knows? Maybe it will. I'm still waiting a week or two just in case. But I'm pretty sure it's not going down in price. They literally just released it. Why would it go down? But anyways, I'm going to be heading out for now. We'll be back tomorrow night, same time as always, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 1 hour prior to now tomorrow, we'll be going and doing all of the Chapter 7 tasks, or all of them that can be completed without wasting gems. And yeah, that's the game plan. And we'll have the video up sometime tomorrow going over all the weekly event stuff, as well as Soulforge, which we can't even see until tomorrow. And also, one other thing to really mention, if you are someone who watches most of our streams, we will not be streaming, or two things. Thursday night, our stream will be way earlier in the day, because I'm going to be sleeping through most of the day. Because Thursday night, the second it comes out, we're going to be doing Age of Calamity. And then that also means Friday morning, we will not have a Friday Gems of War stream. We'll be streaming, but we'll still be streaming Age of Calamity for when we were doing it through all night. So we'll be doing that for a while. I think it's actually going to be like 16 hours straight or something. Because from basically midnight Thursday until around 7 p.m. we will be streaming. So that is, how much time is that? That's 12 hours, 19 hours. It'll probably be divided into 2 streams though. But for about 19 to 20 hours straight, we'll be doing Age of Calamity from Thursday night into Friday night. And then we'll have our normal Gems of War stream Friday night. But anyways, yeah, that'll be pretty fun. So do keep in mind, our Thursday night stream will be way earlier in the day. It'll be almost like a morning stream rather than a night stream. Like the normal time that we do our morning streams. We'll basically be doing that on Thursday. And then Friday, we'll not have a Gems of War morning stream. It's just Bounty Hunter. I'll be going over tomorrow anyways, so it's pretty straightforward. You'll literally just put 3 troops down, replace one of them, and it's the same thing every time. So not much to really go over with Bounty Hunter. It takes like 2 hours. We can just do it on a nightly stream. It's pretty straightforward. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you later. Thank you for stopping by as always. Greatly appreciated. Feel free to leave a like on the stream, and we'll have the video up tomorrow. And tomorrow night, same time as always, we'll be going over the tasks for the week. Catch you guys later. Enjoy your week, okay, and goodbye, everyone. And don't forget to finish out any of the events, as you still got like 5 hours left.